Hi, Mike is Pramaraj, and I just want to thank you guys for attending, being my audience for this evening. I'm here to talk to you about sharks, and right away you're probably thinking of Jaws and the great white shark, and that's exactly the shark I want to talk to you about. This is an informative speech about the great white sharks and how that movie's portrayal of them isn't how the animal behaves at all, and conservation, and how we're more of a threat to the great white sharks than they are to us. They grow to about 15 to 20 feet. Actually, probably more. They found bigger ones since they're apex predators, so nothing really hunts them except man, of course. And then killer whales have been known to attack them at times and kill them. Also, great whites, they live long. They 20 plus years. They also take a long time to mature, so they don't reproduce until they're about 10 to 12 years old. So yeah, they take a long. They give birth to 2 to 14 pups at a time, live births, and they take about a year and a half gestation period to actually give birth to these. They also can be found in any ocean, really. They travel, they migrate so much, they go across the whole, any ocean where they're there. At first they believed just to be able to just stay in the cold waters, but they found them in the Caribbean everywhere. I've actually seen one in the Caribbean. I was a little kid in Trinidad and Tobago. We were visiting Maracas Beach. It's a shallow beach for maybe about 30 feet, and then the floor drops about 20 feet. It just cuts and drops, and these big 20-foot waves come in. I was about 10 years old, and I was standing maybe in the halfway point between the crest of the wave and the shore, and it was coming from the left side, and all these people were saying shark, shark, and then I saw it caught in the wave. I wanted to see it, but at the same time I said, okay, I'll stand in the middle. I was like maybe 10, so it's like the water's like knee high maybe, and so I figured I'm safe. So I sat there. It was coming. It stayed in the wave. The wave was just swelling up, and it was right there. It just passed by. And I sat there and watched it. The jaw dropped down. I didn't know what shark it was at the time, but then it got me all interested into the sharks, and so by the time I actually researched it and everything, the only shark that has a jaw that does that is a great white, and it looks a certain way. And it has this jaw that in the upper jaw moves independent of the mouth. So while it's attacking, the mouth can stay open, and the top jaw just push down on whatever it's eating. They usually feed on fish, sea turtle, whales. They also hunt whales, sea lions, and seals. That's their favorite dish, I guess. That's one of the reasons why they attack us. We get mistaken for seals and sea lions. And the way they attack or hunt, they go. There's two methods that they do, and both of them we get mistaken for. That's where the mishaps happen with them. They circle around and they'll bump. They'll bump once or twice, and then they'll come in and bite just to see what it is. They don't have hands or anything, so they have teeth. So they bite and they see what it is, and once they taste the blood, they know it's not the fatty seal that they like. They back off. In the meantime, we're injured because we have a big teeth, either legs chopped off or whatever. And for us, it's fatal, but at times, but for them, they're like, well, I can't eat this. Okay, I'll go on to something else. They don't come back and try to kill us or anything. That's a lot of the attacks that happen with the great whites. Also, the second method is they come from above and they see the seal from up top. They just recently developed this, maybe in the past 20 years or so. But they come up from below fast as they can and they attack from below because the seals are so fast swimming. They figured out a way to attack them where they have a surefire way to get them. And so surfers and paddleboard riders, they usually are the victims of that because they come up and attack and they can't see but the shadow and above paddling, on the surfboard looks like a seal. So they can't really see, they jump up and get you. The other thing I wanted to talk about was was mistaken identities because sometimes great whites, they're known so well for jaws. Everyone thinks the sharks are great white, and a lot of times it's not. When they actually check the bites and the indent marks on the person's body, they find out it's a tiger shark or something else, or another shark, not the great white itself. Another shark that really gets confused with the great white is the bull shark. A bull shark, it's a broader head. It's not as pointed as a great white's head is pointed more to the tip, and then a bull shark's more flat. But it's got the same little curve in it where it comes out the nose and then the jawline. So it kind of gives that look of it right away. You think it's a great white, but it's a smaller shark. It's maybe about 11, 12 feet, maybe 15 tops, and it's a very territorial shark and very aggressive shark. So it hangs out not only in the ocean's murky waters, but it hangs out in rivers and stuff too. So you're caught in a river, you get attacked by a shark, most likely it's a bull shark. But most people think it's a great white because of the way it looks. It's the aggressive one. It's more non-provoked attacks are for bull sharks than any other shark. Monterey Bay in California, they've helped trying to get a lot of the conservation efforts for these sharks. They've worked on getting poachers and hunters from fishing for them in California, South Africa, and Australia. They're the three heaviest areas where these sharks live. The biggest concentration where they're at. They live in these areas mostly. They migrate all over, but the heaviest concentrations of them will be right there in those three areas, and they've helped to stop them since 1994. They've stopped a lot of these sharks from being hunted there. The Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, they've gotten them involved. So in California, you cannot trade shark fins anymore. So finning stops where they just cut the fins off of the sharks for shark fin soup and then let it try to swim. They can't swim without the fins, so it drowns. Since 2004, they've been able to hold on to six baby great whites, and they've been able to keep them in captivity for a while and show them on display in the aquarium they have there in Monterey Bay. The longest time on record, 198 days, was the first shark in 2004 that they caught, and they let it go and tagged it. After a while, great whites they don't stay in captivity that well. They kind of start bumping into walls and stuff and start not swimming, and they just don't stay in captivity. As soon as they take them out and tag them and let them go in the water, they're gone. They swim like nothing ever bothered them. But in captivity, after a while, they just don't stay. So it's hard to study them. We've learned just recently when I first started this looking up the sharks and everything when I was in high school in the 90s. So, but it was they just were finding out that these sharks they keep their core temperature higher than the water around them, so they keep their blood warm inside of them, and they really didn't know what that was. They're just now trying to figure out that the way that their body works, they can keep the blood running inside them hotter, so they can go into the colder waters and still be able to move quick to catch their prey. And so there's a lot of things that we're still finding out from these sharks, and we're killing them off faster than what they can produce because we fish, with the nets and everything. They get caught in the nets. Some people trophy hunt them, which we're trying to keep them away from that, but they're a threatened species as is right now because they take so long to mate and reproduce. They don't just make sharks don't just come out of nowhere. They take a long time. So it's it's a long process for them to make new ones, but we catch them and kill them faster than they can reproduce. California, since it's one of the three largest concentrations of great whites in that area, I checked on California. Since 2006, since from 1920 to 2008, they've had 95 great white shark attacks. This is 95 in 80-some years, 88 years. And out of that 95, 11 were fatalities where people actually died. But that was mainly from them bleeding out. It wasn't from them actually, the shark coming out back to finish them off. They just, they ended up just dying because of blood loss because they were too far offshore to get in. By the time they got back, they lost so much blood from the bite, but it wasn't something where the shark was dead offset to eat him and kill him like Jaws. Probably stand a chance of dying from a car accident rather than getting bitten by a great white. If you're going to go in the ocean, if you really don't want to get bitten by a shark, the only 100% chance of not getting bitten by a shark is to not go in the water. I can't do that. I love the water. I need to be in there. But if I'm near the ocean, I'll find me in the water. I'll be more cautious, but I'll be in the water. That's it.
Creeping me out. Ooh. Ooh.
Question.
Yes.
When you said the last 20 years since they've gone up, does that mean the sharks have just started doing that?
They
within the
started
last
to
20
develop,
years?
20, 30 years.
That's crazy.
They developed.
That is
And
crazy.
then another thing I saw on a documentary